My beloved, my dearest child of light. Do you feel it? That strange stirring in your heart right now. That slight trembling in your hands. The way your breath caught for just a moment when you read the first few words. That is not by accident. That is heaven reaching into your moment, pulling you into this divine space. Because there is something I must tell you. Something I have been holding back. Not because I wanted to, but because God's timing had not yet arrived. I, Archangel Michael, have stood beside you in battles you never saw, in nights where shadows leaned over your bed, whispering lies into your ears. I have watched people smile at you in the daylight and betray you in the dark. And I stayed silent because heaven had not yet opened the seal. But now the seal has broken. The truth is here, and my child, it will shake you. Please hear me. And please, I beg you, do not look away. Do not skip. Do not tell yourself. I will finish later because this message is living, and if you turn from it, the light in it will dissolve, and you will miss what heaven carved out just for you in this moment. Before I go deeper, I want to tell you something very important. If your heart is hearing me right now, if your soul is pulling you closer to these words, it is because you are meant to walk in the rarest blessings heaven has kept hidden for you. Stay with me until the end, and you will know exactly what God meant for you to hear tonight. And if you have not yet joined my circle where I speak to you daily, where heaven's urgent whispers reach you before they vanish, then do so now. This is how you will never again miss the messages that could alter the course of your life. My beloved, I must tell you, the person you trusted most, the one you thought would never hurt you, has done something behind your back that heaven cannot ignore. You may have felt strange changes in their tone. You may have caught small glimpses in their eyes, but you brushed it away. You said to yourself, no, they could never. Yet the truth has been forming in the unseen, and today, heaven has commanded me to reveal it. This is not gossip. This is not human suspicion. This is divine exposure. God has seen every hidden conversation, every secret deal, every smile that was a mask. And beloved, it was not your enemy who first thought to harm you. It was someone within your trust. They carried your name into the hands of someone who meant you harm, and they thought you would never find out. But you will. You will not just find out. You will watch God turn the tables. You will see the same lips that spoke your name in betrayal, stammer, and confusion when heaven begins to move. And beloved, heaven is about to move fast. I must warn you, the next few days will not feel ordinary. You may receive unexpected calls, messages, or even see faces you have not seen in a long time. Do not dismiss them. Each one will carry a clue. Each moment will be a thread pulling you closer to the truth I am speaking now. But I also must tell you, if you walk away from this moment, you will walk away from the signs. Because the enemy would love nothing more than to make you believe this is just another message. It is not. This is a divine alarm, an open scroll in the heavens with your name on it. And there is more, much more. Before we go into the second half of these truths, I want to pause here with you for just a moment. You are still reading, and that itself says something about the kind of sustained awareness being described. This channel was built to carry this kind of honest, grounding word to people who have lived through chaos and are still learning what their peace is actually worth. If this message has been naming that journey for you today, consider going to the link in the pinned comment below. Give what your heart freely offers. A coffee, a small seed, anything at all. Because what you plant into a mission that carries this kind of word to people who are still in the middle of choosing their peace returns to you as more of the very stillness being described. The link is pinned. Give when your spirit says yes. Then listen closely. My child, for what I am about to pour into your spirit is not just a story, not just a warning. It is a living stream from the mouth of God Himself, carried through my hands and placed directly into yours. Every word you are reading right now is vibrating in the spiritual realm, Angels are leaning in. The enemy is trembling because light is about to shatter something they have built in the dark for months, perhaps even years. I waited because heaven's clock had not yet struck the appointed time. You see, there are moments in life where the truth cannot be revealed too early, because if it comes before the soil is ready, the seed will be stolen. But now the soil is ready. Now, my beloved, your heart has been prepared to not only receive the truth, but to stand on it, walk on it, and rise above it. And when your heart is ready to rise, faith becomes more than something you feel. It becomes the next clear step you are willing to take. I must tell you, the one who betrayed you did not stumble into this by accident. They were persuaded. Their mind was slowly poisoned. A voice not God's whispered to them in moments of weakness. They were convinced that giving away a part of your life, your story, your blessing, would somehow elevate them. But they did not see that in selling you out. They were placing themselves under a spiritual judgment they cannot escape. And you, my beloved, you are the one God will vindicate in front of every eye that has watched this play out. Already the first winds of exposure are moving. Have you noticed the sudden strange energy around certain people? The way conversations seem to end when you enter the room. The way your spirit feels heavy after speaking to certain voices. This is not paranoia. This is discernment. Heaven is lifting the veil, but here is where you must be wise and still. The moment you try to fight this battle in your own strength, you will lose the covering of heaven's strategy. That is why I was sent to you now in this exact hour. You are being told the truth not to stir your rage, but to strengthen your faith. God does not need you to chase this down. He needs you to watch what He does with it. In the coming days, you may be tempted to confront. You may want to demand answers, but beloved, the confrontation will not be with you. The confrontation will be from the throne. And when heaven confronts, no one can lie. No one can hide. No one can pretend. Do you feel the air changing even as you read this? That is the confirmation you have been waiting for. The Spirit of the Lord is near, standing behind you, whispering into your ear, I am here. I see. I will act. And yet there is a choice. You can lean in, stay under this covering, follow every sign I will give you. Or you can walk away, shrug this off as mere words, and watch the moment pass you by. Beloved, do not make that mistake. This message found you for a reason. From the first breath you took on this earth, heaven assigned a guard to your life. That guard was me. I have walked before you, beside you, and behind you, clearing paths you did not know were blocked, and shielding you from arrows you never saw coming. But in all my years of watching over you, I have never felt such a pressing urgency as I do now. The weight of this truth has been on my wings for days, heavy and burning. And heaven has finally commanded that I release it to you without delay. I want to stop here with you for just a breath before the final points. You have stayed through every number, and that itself is the sustained focus being described throughout. This channel was built to reach people who have lived through chaos, not once but many times, and who are still choosing growth over bitterness. If this message has been confirming the choice for you today, go to the link in the pinned comment below. Give what your heart says to give. A coffee, a small seed, anything your spirit directs. Because what you plant into a mission that carries this kind of honest, grounding truth to people who are still deciding between chaos and peace, comes back to you as more of the very strength you are reading about. The link is pinned. Give when your spirit says yes. The one who stands closest to you in the natural realm has stood far from you in the spiritual realm. They have eaten at your table, heard your laughter, shared in moments where your guard was down. And all the while they carried seeds in their pocket. Seeds not of love, but of betrayal. They watered those seeds in conversations you were not a part of. They smiled in your face, yet sold pieces of your story to hands that do not care for your soul. But my child, listen carefully. This is not the end of your story. It is the unveiling of a new chapter. God has been silent. Not because He was absent, but because he was letting their cup fill. Every word they spoke, every step they took away from your trust, was recorded in the courts of heaven. And now the gavel is about to fall. You may feel anger rise in you as I speak. You may feel the sting of realization, the ache of having been blindsided. But I tell you this with authority. Do not let bitterness plant itself in your heart. Do not allow this revelation to become poison to your spirit. You are not being shown this so you can retaliate. You are being shown this so you can witness the justice of God. Soon, very soon, the truth will not just be whispered to your heart. It will be spoken out loud where others can hear it. The mask will fall from their face without you having to touch it. And in that moment, every doubt you had, every uneasy feeling you brushed aside will suddenly align like pieces of a puzzle. And you will stand there, my beloved, not as the wounded victim, but as the one who overcame. You will walk through the fire of betrayal without the smell of smoke upon you. For I have gone ahead into the flame and quenched its heat. But understand this, the enemy will try one last time to distract you before the exposure comes. You may find yourself suddenly busy, pulled into meaningless conversations, tempted to let your spirit drift. That is why I must keep speaking until the final moment arrives. You need to hear me like a heartbeat, constant and unbroken, until your faith is so fixed that nothing can move you. Even now, I am standing in the unseen sword drawn, cutting away the last threads they tried to wrap around your destiny. I see them clearly, and I will not stop until their plan collapses under the weight of heaven's will. Beloved, this is your moment to stay awake. This is your moment to refuse fear. And this is your moment to let God show you that no betrayal can bury the blessing He has spoken over your life. Then let me go deeper. My child, for there are things I have seen that your eyes have not yet beheld, and there are conversations I have heard that your ears have not yet caught. You walk in the visible world, but I see you in both realms, the earthly and the heavenly. And I have watched the weaving of plans against you, like a spider's web spun in darkness. These webs are not fragile threads. They were built with intention, meant to entangle not just your present, but your future. Yet even the strongest web collapses under the fire of God's truth, and that fire is already burning. I must tell you this, betrayal was not birthed overnight. Seeds of it were planted long ago, perhaps when you were too busy tending to your own storms to notice who was walking beside you. They watched you rise after every setback. They watched blessings find you even in seasons of drought, and somewhere inside them a bitter thought began to grow. Why them and not me? The jealousy became an open door, and through it the enemy stepped in whispering lies, feeding suspicion, urging them to act. They believed no one would ever know. They believed their charm, their closeness would be enough to cover the scent of deceit. But heaven never sleeps. God's eyes never close. And now, my beloved, I am here not to give you half-truths, but to unveil the fullness of what has been hidden. You will soon notice strange shifts around you. Those who used to freely speak to you may suddenly grow cautious. Invitations may come less often, or too often in suspicious ways. People may accidentally let slip small pieces of information, thinking they are harmless. Pay attention. These are the cracks in the wall where light is breaking in. I know your heart aches even as you read this. The human part of you wants to cling to the belief that they never meant harm, and yet the spiritual part of you knows I am speaking the truth. That is why your chest feels heavier, why the hairs on your arms are rising. Your soul recognizes the voice of the one who has guarded you since the beginning. But I want you to also hear this clearly. While betrayal has been working behind your back, blessing has been building ahead of you. The same God who allowed the exposure of the Judas in your midst is also preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. When this table is set, it will not be hidden. Those who plotted against you will see it, and they will know they could not undo what heaven had decreed over your life. This is why I say, my beloved, you must not shrink back now. Do not let fear push you into hiding. Stand still. Keep your spirit calm. For the moment you see the first full reveal of their actions, you will also see the first full wave of your vindication. And when it comes, it will be sudden. Like the breaking of dawn after a long night. Even as I speak, angels are positioning themselves around you, creating a hedge no human can cross. The enemy will try to use guilt, confusion, or even false apologies to slip back into your trust. But you will feel my hand at your shoulder, steering you away. And soon, very soon, you will understand why God waited until now to open this scroll to you. The timing is perfect. The moment is ripe, and heaven's justice, once started, will not stop until it is complete. We are now at the heart of this message. And I want to pause here and say something directly. This ministry was built to find the beloved ones at the exact moment. God is bringing a warning about a misaligned connection, and to deliver that revelation clearly so they can protect their peace and their path. And it continues because of the partnership of people who received something real here and chose to be part of what carries it forward. If today this message has been reaching the places it was always sent for, support this mission through the link in the pinned comment and in the description below. Give what your spirit confirms. The link is right there. Then listen, my beloved. The Spirit would not have pulled you into this moment if it were not a turning point in your story. You may think you have seen storms before, but this is different. This is not a season meant to break you. It is a season meant to crown you. But to place that crown upon your head, heaven must remove those who have stood too close to the throne that was meant for you alone. And removal is never gentle. It shakes the ground. It reveals faces you never thought you would see in the shadows. I have been silent for too long, carrying the weight of what I have seen because heaven's command was to wait. And so I waited, even when I saw them smiling at you with lips that had just spoken against you, even when I watched them touch what belonged to you with hands that had already signed it away. But now the hour has come where my sword will not stay in its sheath, and my voice will not stay quiet. This betrayal was not born from a single moment of weakness. It was crafted. It was rehearsed. They aligned themselves with others who share the same envy, the same hunger for what they did not earn. Together they spun stories, altered truths, and wrapped them in just enough charm to keep you blind. And yet they forgot that heaven listens behind closed doors. Even now, my beloved, certain things are shifting in their lives. Disruptions they cannot explain. Sudden setbacks they did not plan for. These are not coincidences. These are the first tremors of heaven's justice. When you see these tremors, you will know the shaking has begun. And once it begins, no hand can stop it. You may feel the temptation to warn them, to reach out to say, I know. But I tell you, stay silent. Silence will be your shield in this hour. Let them think you are unaware, because while they are distracted with their false sense of safety, heaven will dismantle their work piece by piece. And as this happens, you will begin to notice a clearing. Opportunities appearing in places that were once blocked. Blessings arriving faster than you expected. Doors opening without you knocking. This is not random. These are the gifts being released now that the hands which tried to hold them back are being removed. My child, this is why you must stay close to my voice in the coming days. Do not wander into unnecessary conversations. Do not share your plans widely. Protect the vision God has given you for. It is precious and it is targeted. There is a reason the enemy worked through someone close to you, because they could not reach you any other way. But what the enemy forgot is this. I have been standing guard since your first cry in this world, and I will not leave you now. The same wings that have shielded you in danger are spread over you at this very moment, and my sword is drawn not just to defend, but to cut away every chain. Mark these words, the same people who are speaking against you now will one day have to speak for you. The same lips that carried lies will be forced to confess the truth, and the same hands that tried to steal from you will return empty, unable to touch what God has placed under his seal. You are about to see this unfold, my beloved. The hour is near, and I will not let you miss a single sign. You need to know the fullness of what has been taking place behind the veil. For only then will you understand the magnitude of what God is about to do for you. The betrayal against you was never just about you. It was an attempt to strike at the promise God placed over your life before you were even born. You see, there is a mark on you, not a mark that men can see, but one that is recognized in the spiritual realm. Angels know it. Demons fear it. It is the seal of someone chosen for impact, someone destined to disrupt darkness wherever they go. That mark has drawn blessings to you, but it has also drawn attacks, and the most dangerous attacks are not those that come from the outside, but those that rise from within your own circle. This is why I grieved in silence, while watching the one you trusted most step into the role of a messenger for the enemy. It was not sudden. No, it began with small compromises, moments where they chose their own gain over your good. Then it grew, and like a seed planted in secret soil, their actions took root until a harvest of betrayal was inevitable. But here is what they did not realize. God allowed them to plant those seeds, not so they could prosper, but so their actions could be brought into the light for all to see. Just as Joseph's brothers thought selling him into slavery would end his dream, these ones believe they could take from you and watch your vision wither. Instead, they have positioned you exactly where God can elevate you beyond their reach. Already preparations are underway in the unseen. I see meetings being cancelled that were meant to harm you. I see financial arrangements falling apart for those who conspired against you. I see confusion setting into their camp, plans they thought were perfect beginning to crumble under the pressure of heaven's hand. And you, beloved, are being hidden in the cleft of the rock until the storm passes. Do not mistake this hiddenness for abandonment. It is protection. You may feel quieter than usual. Some connections may have fallen silent, but this is because God is removing unnecessary voices from your ears so you can hear His voice and mine without interference. In the days to come, you will receive small but unmistakable confirmations. A phrase will be spoken by someone who does not know the full story, yet it will match something I have told you in your spirit. A document will come into your hands unexpectedly. A door you thought was locked will suddenly swing open, revealing an opportunity you did not even know existed. Each of these will be signs that the process is unfolding exactly as heaven intended. And when the moment of unveiling arrives, it will not be gradual. It will be swift like a curtain ripped away from a stage. The truth will be revealed in an instant. The betrayer will not be able to hide behind charm or excuses. Their own words, their own actions will testify against them. On that day, you will not have to speak. Your silence will speak for you. Your peace will be the loudest response. For God Himself will be your defender, and I will be standing beside you, my sword still drawn, my wings spread wide, ensuring that not even a shadow of harm touches you. And after the unveiling comes the restoration. What was taken will return, not in the same form, but multiplied. What was delayed will be delivered, and it will come faster than you expect. And the very people who doubted you will watch as the promise over your life is fulfilled in greater measure than they ever imagined. This is not just survival, beloved. This is vindication. This is elevation. This is the moment heaven has been waiting for, and you are standing at its threshold. Then let your heart be still, my beloved, and let my words continue to wrap around you like the wings that have shielded you in every unseen battle. For you must understand the story of your life is not simply unfolding in the pages you can see. It is being written in the courts of heaven, where every moment is weighed, every action recorded, every intention revealed before the eyes of the one who cannot be deceived. The one who betrayed you believed they were clever enough to hide their steps in the shadows. But shadows are only the absence of light, and I, Michael, carry the very light of God's presence in my sword. When my blade is drawn, no darkness can survive. And beloved, my blade is already unsheathed. The line has been drawn. What was tolerated in the past will not be tolerated now. I have stood over your life like a watchman on the highest wall. I have seen the enemy circle again and again, searching for a weak place to enter. And when they could not break your spirit through trials, when they could not crush you with open opposition, they turned to something far more dangerous. They sought out someone who had your trust, someone who could walk freely past your walls without raising suspicion. That is how they gained access. And that is why this betrayal cuts so deeply. But hear me, the depth of the wound will determine the height of your victory. The greater the attack, the greater the restoration. This is the law of the kingdom, and your restoration will not be quiet. My beloved, it will not be hidden in some private corner. It will be as public as the betrayal. Those who plotted in whispers will watch in silence as God honors you in the open. Even now, I am watching the scales tip in your favor. I see opportunities forming that were previously blocked because of the influence this person had over your path. I see divine connections preparing to enter your life, people whose loyalty is pure, whose intentions are clean before God. I see doors being marked for you, doors that no human hand will be able to close once heaven swings them open. And yet, there is a warning you must hold tightly. Do not allow bitterness to set its roots in your heart, for bitterness will disguise itself as strength, but it will poison the soil of your destiny. The enemy would love for you to carry resentment into the next season, so that it chokes the blessings before they bloom. That is why I urge you, release the offense into God's hands. Release the desire for revenge. Let heaven handle what heaven has already begun. In the days ahead, the betrayer may try to rewrite the story. They may speak to others before the truth is fully revealed, twisting details, painting themselves as the victim. Do not panic when you hear this. Lies always rise to the surface before the truth crushes them. When their words spread, do nothing. Let the tide of God's justice roll in on its own. It will be stronger than anything you could orchestrate. And when the wave of justice comes, it will not just sweep away their lies. It will sweep away the residue of pain from your heart. You will find yourself lighter, freer, stronger than you have been in years. This is not merely about exposing them. It is about liberating you. You have carried the weight of their deception unknowingly. And when it lifts, you will walk differently. You will see differently. You will trust differently. Not with suspicion, but with wisdom. My beloved, this is the turning point. Not just in this situation, but in your entire spiritual journey. The exposure that is coming will set off a chain reaction of blessings, favor, and positioning that will place you exactly where God has always intended for you to be. You may not yet see the full map, but I promise you the path ahead is far more glorious than the road you are leaving behind. You are standing in a moment where heaven has leaned close, where the veil between the seen and the unseen is thinner than it has been in years. And every word I speak to you now carries the weight of divine timing. This betrayal, as sharp and sudden as it feels, was not outside of God's sight. In fact, heaven allowed it for a reason far greater than you may yet comprehend. Sometimes the only way to remove what is secretly rotting is to let it rise to the surface. That is what is happening now. The decay that has been hidden is coming into the open, and though it stings to see it, it is the first step in the cleansing that will set you free. The one who wronged you thought they could control the outcome. They believed they could control your destiny, but you are guided by God's promise. While they plotted, God observed, and their plans will backfire, leading to your rise. Silence may precede revelation, so remain patient and focused, as the truth will emerge powerfully when the time is right. You are promised restoration that surpasses what was lost, with greater gain and multiplied opportunities. This moment of betrayal is a pivotal part of your journey, leading to fulfillment of long-awaited promises. Your vindication is nearer than you think. And although the betrayal caused pain, glory awaits you ahead. The enemy deliberately targeted your trust, believing they could control your narrative. But their attempts have only strengthened you. Timing is crucial. Exposure will bring truth, and the tables will turn against them. Remain steadfast and discern the sincerity of apologies. Mercy should not lead to entrapment. The forthcoming blessings require space, necessitating the removal of unfaithful influences from your life. Opportunities for growth and abundance are being prepared. As spiritual shifts occur, maintain quietness before the Lord. The authority of heaven supports you. Soon you will walk lighter. In the unfolding truth, you will feel God's faithfulness. Anticipate unrest before exposure. Do not engage prematurely. Silence is a strategy, allowing heaven to act swiftly. After unveiling, blessings will flow abundantly, transforming relationships and opening new doors. Prepare to step forward confidently, reign free from burdens, and embrace your identity in God's eyes as everything changes in your favor. Near the end of this message, this channel runs purely on people who choose to support it through the link. Whatever you are able to leave, however small, genuinely helps this work continue. The link is pinned in the comments below. There are truths long guarded, now ready to be revealed. Past tears were counted, and every act of perseverance contributes to a moment of vindication. The one who betrayed has acted with impunity, but their deeds are documented. When they seek to justify themselves, truth will surround them, leaving no room for excuses. This revelation is not for revenge, but for elevation, clearing space for new opportunities and blessings that were hindered. Doors will suddenly open, leading to abundant resources and relationships. You stand on the brink of a breaking. Chains will fall, allowing you to move forward lighter and freer, while those who betrayed will witness your rise. Heaven's hand is ready to tip the scales in your favor. The air stirs with anticipation as the darkness prepares to reveal itself, and the moment of exposure will be sudden. Fear not when faced with those who come with remorse. Do not return to old chains. As some step closer to your side, others will vanish, clearing the way for what is to come. Blessings will flow abundantly, each greater than the last. Step boldly into this season, trusting the discernment given. You have reached your hour, and betrayal cannot undo what is divinely sealed. Walk forward in peace and keep the mission alive. If this word reached you at the right moment, like this video, subscribe so the next word finds you when you need it, and leave a comment below so someone else can see they are not walking through this alone. Go in peace, chosen one.